to Brashonomics. Lucky enough to have Eric Robison here with us today, managing broker with Keller Williams, who's been in the real estate industry for about 10 years. Eric, welcome. How you doing?
Good.
Good.
Enjoying the season.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, you must have seen a lot of changes go on in the real estate industry, kind of top to bottom, and it's always good to have somebody in your corner.
Yeah, I mean, there's always constant change. But with the constant change, you just move with it. You have to adapt. There's new rules. There's new laws. We just adapt and we go on. We just have to listen to our clients.
Yeah. So as people go through different life changes, some people may want the same, maybe professional, maybe it's the same real estate agent to help them with their first home or their second home or every home they ever buy. Some people may want a specialist to help them with maybe a condo or an investment or a different part of the city. As people go through these changes, what do you think some of the important skills are that people really need to be looking for when it comes to finding the right professional to work with?
Well, everyone's going to first jump right on, do they know their statistics? Do they know the neighborhood? How long have they been in the business? All the normal things naturally you would think of. But I would always bring it back to one of the most important skills I would want of someone is, can they listen? Because if your agent is out there and they really listen to you, they're going to learn a lot about what your needs are, and then they can focus that in finding you the right house. And a lot of agents don't listen.
So I guess I guess it's not just not just hearing you, but actually listening to what you're saying. There's a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're out and they're showing you 3 houses in a row and you're sitting there in the car and you're thinking, this is everything I said I don't want, that should tell you right there they're not really listening and focusing on what you need. You want an agent that's going to sit back and let you walk in a house, walk around, feel it, observe it. You don't need the agent going through and saying, look at the fabulous cabinets, check out these floors. I mean, they need to be quiet.
and just listen.
Right.
I mean, if somebody isn't listening to your needs, I mean, it seems kind of basic sales 101, right? I mean, understand what your client's needs are before you go sell them something, especially as big as a house. Do real estate agents potentially have an agenda, like a hidden agenda by which they wouldn't be listening that maybe needs to be uncovered?
Well, I'm sure some agents will disagree, but yes, I would say there are agents out there. They'll have that agenda of, well, I've got this new client. I need to get him in a house the next couple of weeks because I got other clients coming on. I mean, that's great if they can run their business that way and it works for them and their clients like it, but I find, you can't say to that client, you're going to be in a house in 2 weeks. Every client's going to be different. I mean, I've been lucky. I've had the clients go out day one and find a house and buy. Rare.
Sure.
I also have the clients that take 6 months. I've had one couple that took a year. We got to know each other really, really well. And we had a great time doing it.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I guess that's, again, a big piece of that, though. If you have somebody who you get along with, it is probably another big part of that.
Right. I mean, not to say your agent has to be your best friend, but you got to be comfortable like you are with a friend to be able to talk about what you want in the house. And like I said, I'll let them walk through the house, see what they think, and then hear their observations. And then that's a good time. That's when they need their realtor to say, well, yeah, that's really, those are true, but did you notice this over here or that over there? Then you can have a real conversation.
So, with listening being so important, which I agree with, what are some of the big triggers, I guess, that would come up where you're like, man, my agent is not listening? I mean, what are some, maybe the top 4 or 5, no-brainer red flags that my person helping me is not listening to what I'm talking about?
For me, it's real simple. When they start talking over you, that's a real indicator. It's like, excuse me, I had something to say. They change the subject. It's like they didn't even hear you. They have so focused on they need to point out to you that this counter is amazing rather than hear that you were concerned because you tried to open the windows and you couldn't do it. It's like you want to talk about the window, not about a counter.
Sure. I'm afraid to talk over you at this point in time. I want to make sure that I'm getting all your points in.
That's okay. I'm listening.
We're here with Eric Robison, managing broker with Keller Williams. You'd even mentioned one thing which I think is interesting. There's nothing worse than this to hear an agent say. which is just a big time waster.
Nothing worse than an agent say is to say, I thought this was not the right house for you, but I wanted to make sure and show it to you. I mean, that's a time waste. That's a time waste for everybody. You know they don't want it. Why do you have to reiterate to them that you don't want it? You know, you're not listening. It's like they have told you they don't want to see it. Listen, don't show it to them.
Is that another place where you may be able to find a hidden agenda, though? Because all of a sudden it's, well, they kind of like that house, but I'm going to start showing them houses they don't want so that they like that one more. I mean, is it that?
The only time I would do that is you need to be really upfront, and that would be the case of there's a house that's overpriced in the same price range of what you're about to buy, and you need a comparison of to see if you're getting value for your money. Then sure, go show them a really overpriced, horrible house that they're going to walk through and go, what are these people thinking? You know, that's when you do it. But you're also being upfront. You're just comparing and showing them, and you know they're not going to want it.
So really, I mean, there are some reasons to actually look at houses maybe you don't want, even though that you know they might not want them, and it might just be for, I mean, there's reasons, but...
Very few, but yes.
But there's really that open and honest communication. This is why I had you drive 3 miles in traffic to get here, and make sure that's something they want to do.
Right.
The client wants to do.
You can be real specific about it. But you can also, you know, even with photo galleries, you can have a conversation with them over the phone and point out things on that and just tell them what you've seen in the house before you even get there. Because a lot of times, you know, you have those conversations. They appreciate that because you've been listening and you've told them, you know, I'll show it to you, but here's why I think you're not going to want to see it. Because they don't want to waste their time either.
So let's talk about if it is a house you do want to see. You know, I mean, you don't want to go see houses you don't want to see or you don't want to buy, I get it. But when somebody goes into a house,
right,
and, you know, they're a real estate agent, if they're looking to buy a home, maybe it's the first house they've seen, maybe it's the 100th, I don't know. But what does a good real estate agent do? And how is during the maybe initial walkthrough of a kind of get to see a house for the first time?
Right. I would say a good agent's going to open the door and step back and let them walk in and, you know, kind of follow them through the house, but you might go off and look at other rooms because, you know, the agent, we're going to walk around, check it out. But I really think it's important to let them, especially if there's 2 of them, to talk about the house amongst themselves as they go. You know, wait till they want to strike up that conversation to you and talk about the house because they need to feel it. They need to see if they can live in it. You know, as an agent, because we've seen so many, we've worked with a lot of clients, we might already know in our head, oh, the minute we walk in, we walk around 2 rooms and go, you know, this looked good on film, but it's not going to be right for them.
They had a great photographer.
Yeah, but I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, let's go, it's not for you.
Right. So then really it sounds like there's an element of allowing people to explore a home without...
Absolutely.
And in some sense of privacy and having a conversation with your wife without feeling the pressure of how's this conversation going to appear to our agent?
Well, absolutely. You need to let them have that time when they need it. Sometimes, you know, you might walk outside and let them have a conversation. You know, you have to be smart in your own skills as an agent and listen to what your clients are discussing. You know when it's best to leave the room and let them have a little conversation. Yeah,
Eric, we just have about a minute left before we have to go to break. Again, I think you make a really good point, and it's kind of allowing them to see it from their perspective, not yours, through their eyes, not the agent's eyes.
Absolutely, because it's their eyes that are going to say, we love this house, we want to buy it.
And then what about for negotiating? I mean, what's the big points there?
Again, listen to the other agent, you know. There's a lot of agents and they want to sell that house to you. Well, let them talk about it. Let them say everything they want to say about that house because they can say things that, you know, might benefit you in negotiating it. I mean, the key words that we love to hear, oh, they have a job transfer, they're moving across the country. Oh, they are getting divorced. I mean, they don't have to tell us that, but I'm happy to hear it when they do.
I mean, how motivated are these sellers?
Those are motivated sellers.
Sure, especially.
Those are sellers that they just want to get it done and move on.
Well, Eric, thanks so much for joining us. I mean, that listening piece, I guess, on both ends, listening to your clients and then hopefully finding out a little bit of information on how to get that better deal from the agent.
Absolutely. I mean, listening,
I guess if you're going to list your house too, you want to make sure your agent isn't too chatty and gossipy and might throw give everything but the kitchen sink at them.
Yeah, you don't want an agent working like that for you.
Eric Robison, managing broker with Keller Williams. Great to see you again.
Thanks
we
so much.
do have to go to break. I'm Ben Brashin. You're listening to Brashinomics.